I hope this is working. I'm gonna make this video while I'm driving. First one, people all around, and I don't give a damn while I'm pulling up to a red light. I kinda give a damn. Dang it. Good morning. This video today is about how to start your business in 3 simple, easy, no-cost steps, even if you're currently a W-2 employee working another job. First, we're gonna cover the one question you need to ask yourself to legitimize your business idea and to make the decision if you're gonna move forward and make this a reality or not. 2, we're gonna talk about the few easy, simple steps that you can implement just over the next few days to actually turn your idea into a real business, a live business, findable out there in the world, findable on the internet. Lastly, number 3, we're gonna talk about how to then multiply your efforts, scale this business into everything you ever dreamed it could be or would be, and then more. And then possibly, if you're somebody working a W-2 job, leave that thing. All right, so welcome to the truck. And I'm a little bit shy about all the people seeing me do this because I've never done it before. Give me a couple tries, I probably won't care anymore. And I'm looking at the screen. I should probably turn it around, then I won't be tempted to look at the screen. Maybe next time. All right, so let's talk about that business idea that you have had for a long time or just recently, thought of, and you can't get it out of your head. You just, no matter how hard you try, or you want it to just be a fleeting thought that goes away, that thought keeps reoccurring over and over and over again, and you cannot convince yourself why you should not do this business. Okay, there is one simple question you need to ask yourself. This is not complicated. Okay, we way overcomplicate things in life, which is why we often don't end up chasing after or trying to achieve a lot of the things in life that we want deep down. Oops. One question, it's actually a 2-part question, but it's the only thing you really need to ask yourself is, do I have any time whatsoever to get this business started if I just took it one step at a time? Do I have the time available in my 16 to 18 waking hours? Could I dedicate any time to this new business idea? Okay, the second part to that question is, do I have enough money or enough time to serve just one customer, one client, one homeowner, whatever it is? Do I have enough time and enough money to just serve one? If I were to able to get one real customer to come through, could I serve just that one customer? If your answer to that question or both those questions is, yeah, I could do that, then you're good to go. Let's do it. That's all you needed to know. Let's start the business. That was easy, okay? Don't let all the other limiting beliefs start to edge their way into your thoughts, okay? You've probably already asked yourself this question about time and money, the ability to just get started one step at a time, the ability to just service one customer. Could I? But then what you do is you start getting too many steps ahead. You start thinking about, okay, but, how much money is this one customer going to make me? Is it worth all the time? I mean, what if I do it, I get the one customer and then nothing else happens? Did I waste my time? What are you doing with the time anyways? You're getting off work or you're unemployed. What is it you're doing? Okay, I don't think it would be a waste of time. Okay, I'm not gonna stick my nose in your business and say that what you're doing isn't important, but I'm just saying, I bet it's safe to say that for the majority of you seeing this, if any of you are seeing this, because I just started the channel, it's not gonna be a waste of time. Okay, so if the answer to that question is yes, I have enough time, I could get started building the business, coming up with the name, maybe a quick logo, a website, which is super easy to do nowadays. There's tons of platforms out there that'll pretty much make the website with you with a little prompt, with all the AI. And anyways, super easy, super low cost. Oftentimes they offer a free version. Nobody cares. I'm telling you, for what we're doing when you're getting started, nobody cares if your website says, GoDaddy/JaneDoeHomeRepair.com. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I can show you how that doesn't matter. Okay, what matters is what's inside the URL. Okay, nobody cares And oftentimes nobody's reading the URL if they're clicking to your website from a Google Business Profile, a social media link, whatever. Nobody cares. Okay, so if you have the time to do a website, create social media platforms, the name of the business, okay, maybe, use your personal number for now. You don't have to have a business number. Who cares? I don't know what kind of limiting beliefs you might have about, why you wouldn't want to use your personal number, but how bad do you want to start this dream? So just use the number you have. Don't overcomplicate it, okay? Change the voicemail to your business voicemail. Who cares when your friends, family, cousins, aunts, uncles call and you miss the call and they hear this business voice? Who cares? Who cares? So you've got the time to do these things. You have the time and a little bit of money or enough money to where you could service just one customer. That's great news. That means, here we go. That means you're starting this business. I hope this isn't rubbing all over the mic. Okay. That means you're starting this business. That's exciting. Congratulations. Number 2, okay? This is probably more so the part that is gonna tap into the time portion of the question we just asked ourselves, is how do you get started? Honestly, a lot of people get caught up on like the name of the business and, man, what I should have a slogan. What should my slogan be? What's my logo gonna be? And they spend all this time doing that when I'm not saying that doesn't matter or have an impact on the potential of sales. I'm not saying that it isn't those things being high quality that gives you credibility, but you can always make them later and you can always improve them later. Okay, what matters is going to be the service that you offer, the information that you're providing on these platforms we're going to talk about. So the first thing you need to do is you need to create a free website or a free landing page. Go to WordPress, go to Wix, go to Squarespace, go to GoDaddy. All of these places have free websites that they'll offer, and you can pick from a template. You can type in an AI prompt and it'll pretty much spit out, a pretty good generic version of what you would want your website to look like, and cost you nothing at all. Okay. Once that's complete, then start a little Facebook page. Okay. If you already have Facebook, maybe I'll put it on here later, but you can create a page, not a profile, but through your profile you can create a business page. Go ahead and do that. Super easy. Walks you through the whole process, A to Z. Okay, get that part done. Make a little post. If you're a landscaping company and you're going, I don't have any pictures to put up or anything, just go to Google and just look up a royalty-free picture of beautiful landscaping and post that as your first post. And say a little something, okay, about, off what you're offering. Okay, then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to repeat that process on all social platforms that matter most as far as being found, which would be maybe Instagram, Facebook. Honestly, I'd say you'd probably be good to start there. You're going to want YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. You're going to want all of those things, okay? But for now, just do Facebook and Instagram, okay? It's just giving you more opportunities that when people in your area are searching for your business or the service your business offers, they're going to possibly find you. Okay, the very last thing you're going to do, and the most important thing you're going to do, really this is the thing that's going to actually make this business real and this whole dream come true for you, is you're going to create a Google profile. Okay, I think it's business.google.com. Yeah, business.google.com. It's completely free. It's going to walk you through the process. Okay, you do have to get verified, which takes nothing at all. You just put in your address. They send you a little card in the mail. When you get that card, you open it. It has a verification number. You type it in. You go back on your account, type it in. You're verified. Okay, you're going to follow all of the steps. If you want to know how to optimize your Google business profile, which you're absolutely going to need to do, especially the quicker you want this dream to come true, then check out the video we have on optimizing your Google business profile. It should be uploaded by now. It's like the first video I ever did. Okay, so check that out. I think I passed. Nope, I thought I passed my exit. I didn't. Anyways. Okay. So, optimize your Google business profile. Okay, get the Google business profile completely set up. Follow the steps that I provide in this optimization video. I'll put it somewhere in here right about now. Okay, take your time, really be thoughtful. Okay, type in, go to Google. You're going to go to Google. There's tons of free websites that'll give you a free keyword generator. If you don't know anything about it, you can look it up or just trust me. Okay, but look up free keyword generator. Okay, and what those are going to do is they're going to give you different stats, search volumes for different keywords. So if you're in the some kind of home service business, landscaping, lawnscaping, power washing, general contracting, something like that, go to one of these free keyword generator websites, type in your industry, let it spit out some keywords. 99% of them are going to be service related. So if you type in, general contractor, it might say kitchen remodel, bathroom remodel, deck construction, deck redesign, whatever it is. Copy all of those one at a time, put them in your services. It's gonna give you generic services. You're just gonna go in and say, I don't see my service, add a custom service, and then do that. You're gonna do as many as you can. The more you do, the more likely you are to be found, okay? So, free website, free social media, free Google business profile. You get all those things done. You get verified on Google, okay? You make sure that you follow the steps in my Google business profile optimization video, and then you just let it cook, okay? Listen, don't stress out about how fast this takes hold for you. You weren't doing the business yesterday. You've been sitting around contemplating whether you were ever going to do it. And let's be real, with most things like this in life, we just don't ever chase after them. So then we decide to, and then if we don't get results fast enough, we just want to give up on it. I don't know why, humans, we're weird, we're messed up. I don't know why we think that way, okay? But I'm telling you, after you do this, let it simmer. Go back to what you were doing before, okay? It's gonna blow your mind. Might take a few days, might take a week. It's gonna take a week or two anyways to get verified on Google, and then it's gonna take a little time, and then your phone's gonna ring, okay? What you can do in the meantime, I'll put another video out about this, is you want to be prepared for what you're going to do when that phone call comes in, okay? Because you're going to be giddy like a kid on Christmas. You're going to butcher the call. You're going to mess up. You're going to choke, okay? So be a little prepared, okay? Be kind of prepared on what you're going to say when that call comes in, because the call is going to come in. So know what you're going to say. And remember, you're only trying to service the one customer. That's all we set out to do, okay? One customer. Service the one customer, then reconvene, reevaluate. Now take the next customer and the next customer and the next customer, okay? You don't have a problem until you can't figure out how to do it anymore while working your W-2 job, or if you're unemployed, there should be absolutely no excuse as to why you can't service as many customers as possible. But if you already have a W-2 position, okay, you have obligations and responsibilities to this company that you're working for, okay, you're gonna have to be creative. Service the first customer, you get off at 4, service them right at 4:30, okay? Tell them, last appointment of the day, so glad I was able to squeeze you in. Or tell them, you know what, I'm completely booked Monday through Friday, but I've got Saturday open, and we don't normally work on Saturdays, but I'd be willing to come out and take care of you on Saturday. Boom. First of all, they're going to love that. First of all, they're going to love it, okay? Second of all, it takes care of your dilemma of working your job. So you're going to do this for the first client, the second client, the third client. Then what you need to do is you need to sit down and you need to decide. All right, so, sorry, had to pick up my daughter back here. She's famous. She is now. All right, so the third and final step that I already kind of touched on right before I had to jump off and jump back on is going to be how to multiply and replicate what you've started. Don't get scared and don't get nervous and give up now, because now it's coming true. So you've got that first client, a second client or customer comes in. Now what you need to do, you don't need to do this prior, okay? So please do not sit down and try to figure all this out before. This question has to have motivation behind it in order for any of this to work for you. If what I'm getting ready to tell you, you try to do this before you get started or do these other 2 steps first, then you're never going to get started, because it's going to require a little drive and a little motivation. And it's exactly the kind of motivation or drive that first, second, or third customer is going to create in you after you've been shown or proven to yourself that this is a reality. And really, this question only matters if you're a full-time employee somewhere, okay, or part-time, okay? The first thing you need to do is you need to sit down and ask yourself, you need to sit down with a pen and paper and you need to ask yourself, how many customers could I service in a week's time based on my current schedule? So how many customers can I serve outside of work hours, Monday through Friday? Is the industry that I'm in appropriate to still be showing up in the evening if you work days? Can I work weekends? Do people care? Most people aren't going to care. If you find that, if you are afraid that people aren't going to understand or like that you're wanting to provide your services to them on a Saturday or Sunday, just tell them you were completely booked Monday through Friday when you get the call, and then tell them, but I've got good news. We don't normally operate on the weekends, but I'm completely booked Monday through Friday, but so that you don't have to wait, several weeks. Because our weekdays are completely booked out. I'd be happy to take care of you this Saturday afternoon or this Saturday evening or Sunday. They're going to love it, eat it up, appreciate you. Not going to be a big deal. So you need to ask yourself, how many clients or customers total can I serve in a week's time where it's not going to directly interfere with my current job, and it's not going to interfere with my family or my ability to have some kind of time to not burn out or to not, hate my life, which hopefully in the beginning, early days, you don't need a ton of time. In fact, I would say that the time you're spending doing this business, it should be invigorating. It should be very rewarding. So it should almost act as that downtime for you by kind of setting a fire in you and making you feel very energized and motivated. Okay, so how much can I take to not directly interfere with my current career or my family life? Let me move this. There we go. Should have done that a long time ago. I was looking orange. I still look a little orange. Anyways, if you work another job, you're 100% going to have a point where you can no longer service beyond a certain number because of your job. Now comes the second question, which is, when I reach that point, how much money, based on what I know I'm currently going to charge, the services that I'm going to offer, you need to do your best to kind of forecast what your sales would be at that number, where you would have to then cut it off and take on no more business, and ask yourself, is that number enough for me to go ahead and then quit my full-time job, or to decrease my hours, to be transparent with them and decrease my hours if you work somewhere where that's an option, to then continue to grow and scale the number of customers you do business with, and then reach another point where you then let that job go. And then same thing with your family. Really, you're never going to want to give up family time completely. You absolutely should not. If you have a spouse and children, or just a spouse or whatever, friends, family you spend time with, don't give it up completely. So it's always the time is always gonna probably have to come, the biggest chunk, from your W-2 job. Okay. Now, again, this is why you gotta have a little motivation. You can't ask yourself this question before you get started. I probably shouldn't even have told you yet, but I did. Hopefully you take my advice. You don't try to figure out this mathematical equation until after you've got a client or two. But once you've done this, if you find that based on the business you're wanting to start and the services that you're going to offer and the competitive prices that you're going to charge to make sure you're competitive in the marketplace, and the number of multiplied by the number of clients that you can take on with your current job and time with family, if that amount of money is not enough for you to quit that job, then give up. Just joking. You don't give up, okay? You never give up. I don't even know what business this could potentially happen in, okay? But what you're gonna do then is you now have to get a little bit more creative, and you've got to, gosh dang it. Now what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to get a little bit more creative. And you're gonna have to do this in business anyway, so don't get discouraged that it's happening this early on. It wouldn't matter if you're in business for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. You always have to be able and ready to pivot, to change, to expand, okay, to think outside the box. So you're just getting yourself prepared for something that's inevitable throughout your entire time in business. But you've got to find a way to increase the value that you're offering and therefore justify charging a higher price. Okay, once you do that, you need to then kind of structure or format that so that you can reach whatever that number is that you would have to obtain before you can quit that job. Or there's always the option of hiring or 1099 subcontracting, but oftentimes that's not really an option because they're a human too and they're trying to make a living too. And if you have enough to make a living for them by paying them, then you have enough for yourself. Does that sound right? Does that sound right to you? What? That's it. That's just to get started. Listen, please don't attack me online this isn't the best way to start a business. That's not what this video was about. This video was about speaking to you, okay? Speaking to you, where you've had the business idea, okay? You've had it for a while or for a little bit, okay? You haven't initiated it or embarked on the journey or gotten started for a number of reasons, fear and limiting beliefs, or just believing that you were too limited on time, or I can't do it, or it's too saturated, or whatever it is, okay? You just haven't. This video was to help you get off your bum and just take the next step, okay? Insert really, really famous quote about taking just the next step right here. I don't have it, okay? But that's all you got to do is just take the next step. That's what this video is about. That's all. I hope this video was helpful. I hope having done it in the car wasn't terrible. I know the lighting has been a little wonky, changing directions and the sun and all that. But I hope doing it in the car wasn't a bad idea. I hope this video has helped you or brought you value, or at least has just got enough motivation or insight, put into you that's going to get you to take that next step. Everybody should take that next step. Don't regret never knowing if it would have worked or not. Just go find out. And by the way, anybody who takes my advice and it doesn't work, it's okay. You're gonna fail tons before you succeed, or you're gonna fail tons of times while you succeed, okay? Some people get lucky, some people succeed right out of the gate, okay? But they do experience different types of failures throughout the process or over the years. So you're gonna fail. Fail doesn't mean give up, it just means pivot and move forward again. Pivot and move forward again. I need to come up with something I say at the end of the videos. Huh? No, I agree with that. Like and subscribe, I agree. But I need something a little catchy. Something like that's all I've got today for this video. Okay? Godspeed on your journey. God bless you. Okay? My daughter says I should say, comment down below. Be nice. If you're nice and you have a nice comment, I'll pin it at the top. Okay? Subscribe, like, subscribe. See you next time.